strategy, such as the Deferred Sales Trust, is the best way for you to grow your wealth. Hey, I'm your host, Brett Swartz. In each episode, I'm joined by some of the best real estate minds, financial minds, and wealth advisors in the world, where they share their ideas, deal stories, and inspiration. So together we can make complex tax deferral strategies simple and passive income plans achievable. I'm excited about our next guest. He has a really kind of an amazing story here. A 30-year career as an elementary school teacher, and when he graduated from college. Or at least he thought he was headed for that. But who could predict the kind of the state funding cycles when they have a career planned in public service? He took his passions from learning and applied his skills to a professional development, economic development, nonprofit management, IT sales, project management, and startup entrepreneurship. Through all of that, he has discovered the key to success: helping others. How do you go from no real estate experience to the top agent in your brokerage? You earn your commission. He's going to talk to us a little bit about that. And he is a real estate agent for 4 years. And in his first 6 months, he did more business than anyone in his entire brokerage. Most of the people he worked with were already working with an agent when they called him. And he is going to talk to us a little bit about educating, advocating, referring, and network earning for your customers and your clients. Please welcome to the show with me, Michael Littlecote. Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Brett. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Hey, thanks for being here. Would you give our listeners a little bit more about your background and your current focus?
Oh, sure. So like most people, when you start out at 16 and decide what you want to be when you grow up, I knew exactly what I was going to be. I was going to be a public school teacher. I was going to have a Mr. Holland's Opus moment. I was going to retire and have all these kids come and say hi and greet me and stuff. And in Washington State, at the time I graduated, they had this great program, which was, well, let's reduce student-teacher class size ratios. The problem was they pumped a bunch of money into public education, but they didn't build any more classrooms. So I was one of several cohorts of young teachers coming out. We only got 1 year non-continuing contracts. So the federal money or the state money dried up for that program. And we were told, hey, you can't be a classroom teacher. And also half of you need to go find other careers because there's not enough room for you in the sub pool. None of you would make a living. So at that point, I had entrepreneurship really thrust upon me, discovered professional development, coaching, working for other organizations, helping people with life skills, job skills, certificate classes, that sort of stuff. That took me down a bunch of other paths and wound up in real estate completely by, well, you don't accidentally take your real estate broker's test. What happened though was I had family that was, they had done all the research for a big development, 80 acres, that was going to be the largest outdoor development, youth development area here in the Pacific Northwest. They did everything. They found the seller. They put everything together. They did all the paperwork. They did everything. A realtor showed up, put his name on it, turned it in. They saw the size of that commission check and they went, that needs to stay in the family. That needs to be something that we are a part of. So they asked me if I'd go get my broker's license. I said, yeah, sure, not a big deal. 90 hours later, I went, was doing the typical thing of door knocking and helping people and that sort of stuff. And I struggled in residential a lot. And the reason for that was I realized that I don't control the product. At that point, the product I thought was, oh, it's the houses. Well, I don't really control the houses that are on the market at a given time. And I thought, oh, well, it must be the buyers or the sellers. Well, again, you don't really control when somebody's ready to make that life choice. And so I realized that I am the product. Well, if I'm going to be the product, then I have to be somebody that is able to explain the world around me, what's going on, and help people make a decision that they feel good about doing with me. And that was where I kind of cut my teeth in doing that sort of stuff. But after it was about 7 or 8 months of showing homes on Sundays at 7 a.m., I said, I can't do this anymore. I got to find a way to find some residual income or do something different where I've got buyers and sellers that are more consistent than people that are doing this every 3 to 5 years. And that's where I really discovered investors, income real estate, and started working with that population.
Love it. Excellent. And we're going to dive into that full story in the full interview. This is kind of a teaser or an intro to that. And so for this particular episode, though, we're just kind of covering the biggest frustration maybe you, a client, or a partner has had when it comes to capital gains tax deferral options.
Education. They simply don't know all the options. Usually what I find is that by the time they come to me and ask for advice or want to know what something's going on, they either already have a preconceived notion about what is or isn't possible. And so they've already gone down that road of doing things, or they have a friend who told them that they did a thing one time and that's the thing they need to do. And so really understanding the full gamut of all the options available to them, that's where I get the most frustrated when people come to me with that. And they're like, oh, I have this problem and I've already done X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, can we unwind that a little bit?
You nailed it on the head, right? And that's really, by the way, that's part of what we do. Capital Gains Tax Solutions, plural with an S, because there are a number of proven track record, proven tax deferral strategies that have different outcomes or similar outcomes, but different things for different people. And so knowing your options, having clarity on that, having the education and pre-planning is really the key, right? Because once you sell, and if you haven't done something, you're probably paying the tax. Unless you're in a 1031, then we can save a failed 1031 exchange. By the way, you can go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com to learn more about your options, whether that be a deferred sales trust, 1031 exchange, opportunity zone, charitable remainder trust, Delaware statutory trust. Those are just a few to name. A few different options. So that being said, Michael, for those who want to get in touch with you or are looking for a commercial real estate or a residential broker, and I believe you're in Yakima, Washington, right? Is that the area you serve? What's the best place for them to reach out to you?
They can reach out to me at michael@dissectingadeal.com. And they can also find us. We run the Yakima chapter of Fixated on Real Estate for investors that are looking to connect with other people and find other badass people looking to grow their wealth.
Beautiful. Love that. Yeah. Connect with Michael. And what's the website there again, Michael?
Fixatedonrealestate.com.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. And you can go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com too if you need any help selling a highly appreciated asset. And look for the full episode to drop here with Michael here soon on iTunes. And